We have one final piece to the interview process. This is used only if you did not get the job or you did not hear back from the company for quite some time, several weeks, which makes you suspect that you did not get the job. This is called the follow-up. It can be written as a letter, but I recommend it as an email because it's not as formal. You still want to use formal language in the text, but you want the approach to be a little less formal. There are two reasons why you want to do this if you didn't get the job or you didn't hear back. One is that the person who was selected by the company might fall through for some reason. Sometimes people who are on the job market get more than one offer. So the company may have made the offer and told you, sorry, you weren't selected, but in fact, the person they chose is going to say, sorry, I got a better offer. So you could be in play again as a candidate, and you definitely want to make yourself known and available so that when they start looking again, they'll say, oh yes, so-and-so, let's take another look at that person. Another reason that an offer could fall through is during the salary negotiations. And my late husband had this happen with a candidate he was trying to hire. They went back and forth for weeks and could not come to agreement on the salary. So that candidate fell off the charts and they had to look for another person. So just reminding the interviewers or the hiring manager that you're out there can be very powerful, especially if it happens in the right moment. Another reason why you want to do this, even if the other person really was hired, is that there could be another job opening up that requires similar qualifications. It might not have been advertised yet, maybe they're just getting ready, or maybe someone just gave notice. So you want to keep your name in front of the interviewers and the hiring manager just in case there's something else out there for you. So you want to start with an expression of disappointment, but you don't want to sound like Charlie Brown. It should show that you're disappointed because you love this company, and gee, you still hope you might have a future there at some point. So you want to express hope and enthusiasm for the company, but you do want to acknowledge that you got the message. From there, you have several different options. If you were made aware, for example, when you were rejected, that you were not qualified because you lacked something, you lacked a certain experience or you didn't have a certain skill, you can use this opportunity to tell the interviewers and the hiring manager how you're trying to address that deficit. So it might be a training class that you're taking, it could be some volunteer work you're doing that gives you some experience in that realm, but something that you're doing that's trying to address the deficit that was identified to you. Another technique you can take, maybe there wasn't a deficit that was identified to you, would be to send something, an article or some kind of media, maybe a link to a video that relates to something you discussed in the interview. Don't send something stupid like, oh, look at this funny cat video, I thought you'd like it. It has to be something relevant, but you just want to show your continuing interest and you want to connect with this interviewer or hiring manager as a person and show that you have a shared interest. I saw this video, I thought it was really interesting in light of what we discussed, and I thought you might enjoy it too. That gives you an excuse for sending the email without sounding too much like you're stalking. Another thing you could try is an expression of continued interest. You might say, I'm very disappointed that I wasn't chosen for this job, but please let me know if any other jobs are coming up that require skills that are consistent with mine, because I really like this company and I hope that I can be a part of it someday. Finally, you can conclude, and think carefully about this, with a statement saying that you'll be in touch in a couple of months. In some cases, that's appropriate. In other cases, if you felt like you were getting the brush off, maybe it's not. You definitely don't want to sound like a stalker. I'll be watching you. I'll be back to you. I'm going to be bothering you. But you do want to show that you do have an interest in continued contact. And then you'll sign off with a very respectful greeting. It can be something like sincerely yours or best regards or something like that. And then your name, and I would include contact information at the bottom, because if the person wants to call you, it's a lot easier than having to go back and find your resume and find your phone number on it. So that's my advice. And that concludes our series on the interview process. I hope it's been helpful.